gentlemen.
Good evening. We are live. And I'm really pleased to be here with everyone. Guys, if you're on the call, do pop in, say hi, give us some likes, give us some loves, and share. We've actually made this public this time, so you can actually share this to your profiles if you want to. We're going to be talking, especially if you're in the Super Affiliate Network, we're going to be talking about it quite a lot because obviously it's the mastermind that we've both been on actually, but Diane obviously a lot more recently than me. And we're going to be bringing some really incredible value and giving you some great tips and takeaways that we've both had from the Maui Intensive, which is the Super Affiliate Network's top tier mastermind, and it's $12,500, and that's what we've both invested in ourselves to get this education. And as a little treat for you, we are going to share, what we've learned. Like I say, it's a lot fresher for Diane at the moment than it is for me, but I certainly had some things that I absolutely took away from that and I've really run with. And sometimes you might just pick on two really essential things, and that's what gives your business the boost. And the beauty of these masterminds is that you are masterminding, you are talking to the people who have done that, who have tested everything, who have failed over and over and over again, and you're getting the benefit of that experience, so you don't have to go through that failure. You can actually bypass it. It's like a shortcut, and people think, oh my God, $12,500, that's a lot of money. And yes, it is. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a lot of money. However, when you think how that can accelerate your own growth and your own progress and profits in your business, it's absolutely worth it. And I'm just going to say, guys, in case you know who we are, I'm Karen Richardson. This is Diane Duvniak. Did I say that right, Diane?
Yes, that's perfect.
And Diane was only over there a few weeks ago. It was actually hosted in LA when Diane was over there. And she's had a great time. And Diane, do you want to put into your words just sort of a little overview of what you feel about investing in yourself at that level?
Well, I mean, it's really difficult because the whole thing, second by second, minute by minute, was just wow. We started at 8 o'clock in the morning and we finished at 6 o'clock in the evening. And then we had homework, which was, go out and do your lives, guys. When you finished all this, when your head's buzzing and you're thinking, wow, I've got this, and wow, I've got that, and wow, I've got the other, I just can't wait to get back and implement all this, and then, it's just so difficult to say. I mean, Karen said, give me your greatest takeaways when she posted, or 3 or whatever it was. But there were so many takeaways, and that is the nature of one of these events. Well, actually, that is the nature of this event, of the SAN event, because I have been on other events. This is the 4th program of learning, about internet marketing. And for me, so I've seen these other 3, I haven't been on everywhere, but I've seen these other 3. And honestly, guys, I just did not get as much value that I have from SAN. It's just incredible. And this event, the first thing, let me tell you, is there's no comparison when you go and you're with people almost one-on-one. Our group, I don't know about the other 2 groups, but our group was very small. There was only 6 or 7 of us, 7 actually. But there was Misha, there was Jason, there was Jean-Pierre. Now, Jean-Pierre is a 6-figure earner. Misha is a 7-figure earner. Jason is a multiple 7-figure earner. And actually, he's got a funny story that he tells. I'll try and tell you that if we remember. And these people have done it, they've walked the walk, but most importantly, they're still there in the trenches. You know, it is working for them. This business, this system is working for them even today. And I'm not talking about their SAN business now, where, you know, they get part of our commissions and, you know, that is part of all this. I am talking about what they do that is exactly the same as what we are striving to do. And, you know, that's why we get in the Super Affiliate Network what we call orphans, because their sponsor is Misha. And what a wonderful thing to have a 7-figure earner as your sponsor. I've got the lovely Karen, you know, so I am very lucky. And some people, you know, it's more difficult if you come in with a person who hasn't been there for very long. But then there is this marvelous community, and you know, the training, not just the SAN training that Karen and I have been on this event, but the other training, we'll go on that. But I want to say about, you know, learning from these 6, 7 and multiple 7-figure earners, you know, almost on one-on-one when you go to this one event. You cannot get that in a lot of places. And also, you see, at these events, these what we call higher ticket event, I call them, you know, greater coaching events. There you are starting to get mastery in what you have invested in. And you see, so many times, and you know, I'm guilty of this, so many times we do a little bit of this training, and we do a little bit of that training, and we do a little bit of the other training on one shiny object, the other shiny object, the third shiny object. And what this event really brought home to me was, it brought me back to focus on what I am supposed to be doing to build this business to the point where it is just an automated system. And actually, it has other benefits, because whatever I implement in SAN, whatever training I have, I put it into my bed and breakfast, I put it into my carpet cleaning. You know, I do it in other businesses. I'm going into online networking marketing business, and this training is so great for that, because, you know, you don't have to go and, oh, there is an echo, Karen.
I'll turn the volume down slightly. Okay, see if that's better.
I've just heard this whispering. I'm thinking, what is that? And yeah, it's Karen's echo from a microphone. Sorry, guys. Yeah, and so you know, it's all about mastery. These higher level or higher coaching events that you can go on, and you know, I'd recommend them to everyone. I mean, I've known about this even before going on the SAN event, because I've been on these other events with other companies, and you know, I had not got half the value of what, and that's why I kept on until I found SAN, and I don't have to go anywhere else, frankly, which is great.
Absolutely. And Diane, we've got over 22 people tuning in, including Misha Wilson. Hey, Misha. So we're sat here, Misha, and we're saying how great you are and how great Super Affiliate Network is. But seriously, guys, the whole reason for us holding this live today is we really want to give you some golden nuggets to take away. You know, it is absolutely true that when you invest in yourself to this level, you, as Diane says, you are learning mastery, okay? And you're learning from the masters. You know, this is why we do it. It's a mastermind of the highest level, and it's the best thing you can do. You get to ask these guys anything. You're there, you're next to them, you can touch them. And, you know, they're there for you, basically. And I can tell you, when I went over a year ago, I didn't have homework, Diane, but we had 12-hour days, 3 12-hour days. God. And I think even one was maybe even touching on a 14-hour day. It was long, I tell you. But I'm not complaining. It was an incredible experience. And like I say, you get to talk to these guys, and actually it builds relationships as well. Those relationships become far more solid. But yeah, you know, you certainly, I found there were certain things that I was able to pick up, and I just went, aha, that, yes, oh my God, this makes so much more sense. And although we are taught a lot of this stuff, is something about that one-on-one, that one-to-one that it just goes in and it just makes more sense. I don't know if it's because you're getting to ask those questions, but you know, this is why they're so valuable, so valuable. And you know I'm incredibly grateful to Misha. If you're still watching, oh, he is, yeah, he's put a smiley face. As you are, Diane. So Diane, come on, tell us, what was, you know, probably your biggest takeaway from the...
Well, I mean, I've already said about the focus, and that's got me back to focus, because I was veering away, you know, on this, that and the other. But I want to talk about this 12,500 investment, because, you know, it's not small change. But the thing is, what the Maui event showed me was that, you know, you implement these systems, the bridge page, the consult funnel, the webinars, you drive traffic every day, you get your leads every day, you do your emails every day. Once you get that system, and of course, you know, you have to go back and do it. I'm not saying, you know, you don't get it all there. But once you've implemented all this, that 12,500 is just peanuts, because that system is there. My expectation of that system is that I will get, once I've implemented it all, I will be able to generate at least 100,000 a year. So, you know, if you're getting 100,000 a year, 120,000 a year for the next years, what is that 12,500 investment? It's peanuts, really. And, you know, I think Misha said it again in the marathon webinar that he did the other night. He called it a 6-figure profit system. Now, I like that figure. I love profit, you know. When you're talking about 10,000 a year, is that profit or is it, you know, turnover? Well, I like profit, and this system is a profit system. And the best thing about this is that once it's in place, it's so automated. You know, you have your webinars, your replay webinars going out every month or every couple of weeks. You have your consult funnel going out to your list once a week. You have your vendors that you know who to place your ad with and your swipe copy with. And it's all automated. And guys, what have you got left? You keep giving value to your email list every day. And so they get your emails, they get to know, like you, and trust you again. Not only that, but they love your product and they buy. That is the whole system, and it's so automated. That is what I love about it, because, you know, you might be working hard today for a while, for 6 months, even a year, but eventually that is what you get. You get an automated system, and, you know, that is what a business is. Most of you will know that I've got a bed and breakfast, and I have got now my bed and breakfast to the point where I can just go to Maui and that system, that B&B carries on. And that is what the Maui event does for your internet marketing business, your affiliate marketing business. It will get it to a point where it is automated, and that 12,500 investment that you made will seem like nothing. And actually, when I was there, I met a friend, an online marketing friend, that was in another opportunity. And in that opportunity, it's a very similar system. You pay for these high-ticket coaching events. And he asked me how much I was paying, and I told him. And he went just back in shock, because he said, "Pardon, how much did you say?" And I said, "Yes, that's how much it was." And he said, really? Do you get the value then? Oh my, because he knew the value that we were getting in the other opportunity. And, he knew that I could then compare it to Maui. And, I was able to say to him, honestly, no, compared to those 3 other systems I have been in, this is the greatest value that I have invested in.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I can really echo on the whole automation part and the system actually taking over because as you guys know, or a lot of you know, for those of you who don't, I've literally been out the loop for about 2 months because of both my parents being, on the critical list, basically, thankfully they're both still with us. And I've been back and forth to hospitals. I've been all over the place. And the last thing on my mind has really been my business, but I've still made nearly $4,000 this month, and I've hardly touched my business. That's how powerful, it is once you get things up and going. Now, obviously, I went to Maui a year or so ago, but what is really important to say, Diane, is that you do actually have to take action on what you learn. It's not, it is actually taking the actions that you're taught. And I will put my hands up. One of the things we go deep into in Maui is getting your webinars sorted.
Yeah.
And I've only just started doing webinars. So it does take action, and maybe I would be doing a lot better if I'd started the webinars, way back when. However, for whatever reason, for whatever bullshit reason I've given myself, because that is all it comes down to, is your own beliefs and whatever, rubbish that you're telling yourself that you're not doing it. But you do have to take action, and what you learn is very high level, but at the same time, it's completely actionable. It's completely within your ability to do everything that we're taught. And, I found for me there were some nuances that I adapted to what suited me better. But that's important as well, because it has to fit with you, and your personality has to come through, your way of doing things. You've got to be able to, move with it. And that's exactly what it gives you as well. You can absolutely insert yourself into what you're taught. It's not right.
And you need to play on your strengths as well. And I mean, Karen and I spoke about this earlier, that, Karen she loves Facebook, don't you? And, that is one of Karen's strengths. It isn't my strength. I love to write, because when I write, I can adapt it and think, oh yes, I can put that in, and no, I won't put that in. That's not, what I should do. And I just love to write as against actually doing this, because you can see I'm umming and ahhing and trying to think of the best way of putting.
You're not Diane, honestly. We're not going to get into this right here, but guys, put number 1 if you think Diane's doing a great job.
Okay, I'm sure they will be putting ones, but I love to write, you see. I don't love to do Facebook Lives. And you need to do what you love, you see. Now, webinars, I mean, people have thought, oh my God, I can't do webinars. But actually, your face isn't on the webinar. You are the authority behind it. Yes, you have to be. But, for me, that I'm thinking, oh, that's okay. I can do that. So I can write emails, I can send solo ads, and I love solo ads, because you don't get shut down on solo ads. That's the thing. So I love solo ads. I love email marketing. I will love webinars. And, I just can't wait to get there. But I'm doing my bridge page at the moment. And then I've got to do my consult funnel. And then I will do my webinars. But I will get there.
Absolutely. And we have already done a webinar together, haven't we? And in a sense...
No, I wasn't on it. I was at Maui.
Oh, of course you were.
Yes.
next time. And guys, just so you're aware, we will be holding a webinar. We were going to do it this Thursday till we realised it's actually Thanksgiving in the States. In the UK, we don't have Thanksgiving. We just get Black Friday. I'd rather have Thanksgiving personally, but we just get Black Friday, which only came over a few years ago because of the sales, obviously. But so we've actually decided we're going to move it to the following Thursday. I'm not sure. I think it's the 30th of November, maybe. So anyway, we will be holding a webinar. For those of you who want to know more about the Super Affiliate Network, you can jump on that. Or, you know, if you know someone who's introduced you already, then make sure you go back and talk to them. Because I think one of the important things to point out that actually that 12,500 K, when you look at how much information you're given in the boot camp that you pay $1 for, actually it's worth 12.5 K without a doubt. And I'm not saying this to, you know, try and sell it. It just is, because it's the depth of the knowledge that we are given, even at the boot camp level, even at the basic boot camp. Maui, you know, we've got pro level, then you've got the Maui level, and it just takes it to a whole other level. And it is that personal one-to-one mastermind which makes it special. And I remember when I came back from Maui, the one thing that really hit me, and I don't know, the place I was in, I think you sort of think, I should be doing this, I need to be this person, I need to be that person, I need to try and talk to everybody, and you realise that actually, and it's what we talk about with the attractive character, and it made me realise actually you've got to just hone in on that avatar, and you've got to talk to the people who are going to get to you the most. Not understand internet marketing. They've got to get you first. You are the glue, if you like. You know, not everyone's going to like you. Not everyone's going to resonate with you. And they're going to go. They're going to leave. And that's absolutely fine. However, you know, the people who are going to understand your message, for me, it's probably going to be, you know, mums of young children. It's going to be people who are in their, you know, mid-30s to 40s, you know, I'm going to have a message that resonates with them. Whereas Diane, and this is what's incredible, Diane is a nana, and her website is Web Savvy Nana. And I just love this. You know, I think that the fact that this internet, you know, a lot of people get it into their heads it's for young people, you know, like Misha, who's terribly old, turning 27 this week.
Thanksgiving!
Yeah. You know, it's not, you know, Diane's doing it. She's doing it, and she's killing it, you know, she's doing such an amazing job.
I mean, I am the age when, what was his name, Karen? The KFC man.
Colonel Sanders.
When Colonel Sanders retired, he'd not been successful. I think he'd got a problem because he didn't have a pension or something like that. And then he gets KFC, you know. Well, it means that you can do it at any time, you know. And actually, I mean, really, I mean, I could just sit back and live off my B&B. But it's, I don't know, I just love business. I just love, you know, creating something that will bring in, you know, money, but it's not the money, it's that you can do even more. You know, so for me now, at my stage, it's helping my daughter, it's helping my son, it's, you know, wanting to look at how are my grandchildren going to end up? You know, we live in Oxford in the UK. It's horrendously expensive to get a property. You know, I want to be able to leave stuff even for my grandchildren now. So that's why I carry on. And I just love business. I don't like this idea. The other day, I was out at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I thought, oh my God, there's all this traffic. And I thought, oh my God, I don't do this, do I? You know, I don't sit in these queues trying to get to work normally. And I thought, oh my God, everybody just should just take responsibility for their life and get some sort of business and just live the life of Riley, basically. You know, live the way that they love. Do something that you love rather than go and earn your boss some money.
There you go. Word from Diane Duvniak.
Sorry, guys.
We've had a few comments on the call so far. We've got Marcus here with us. Hey, Marcus Fernandez.
Oh, hello.
And he says, a boot camp taught me more in 3 weeks than I learned in nearly 3 years. I know.
Oh, yes. And for $1.
For $1. I know. We were right there with you. I mean, when I first saw this boot camp, it just blew my mind. And I was just like, I've just got to tell everybody about this. And I did. And Stanislav is with us. She's giving us lots of hearts and thumbs up. And we've got Spence Cater. We've got David Starr, Joanne Dyer, Emilio Quintero. Jason's with us. We've got Lisa Blacklaw, Rajesh Khanna. We've got, I don't know if Misha's still with us. Give us a heart if you're still with us, Misha. Show us some love. Tim's here. Christina. Mark McGarry. I think Raymond's on the call as well. Wayne Crow. Thank you guys for joining us. We really, really do appreciate it. And, I know we are talking a lot about the Super Affiliate Network. Like Diane, I've been in other opportunities. I've spoken to other people who have been, virtually every kind of affiliate system across the board. I've spoken to someone who is now in SAN, who was in one of those other opportunities. And I'm not putting any of the opportunities down, but every single person who's come in has said, it's just cleared so much up for me. I really understand it much better now, this whole affiliate marketing thing. We get to take it to a whole other level when you are masterminding with, the top earners. I mean, you were out there with Keisha Bass, who made $29,000 last month.
I sat next to Keisha Bass in the class.
So Diane, I know she presented her DMO to you. Can you remember any of it? Can you?
Oh God. Well, she presented her DMO, which was, it was all set in order. But you see, her DMO is completely different to mine because she's more Facebook focused. I think she does 3 lives a day for a start, so, when we were on the event, because we all went on the event on the 4th day, all the time, Keisha was, on a live, and actually I got on 2 of them. I thought, I'll get on here. But yes, daily method of operation. Keisha's daily method of operation is really her, it's her modus operandi. And you just have to get your own, really. And you know what these key things are. You've got to go for those high leverage activities. Your emails every day, getting leads every day, they're high leverage activities. And then getting in place all these other structures. And you get that training throughout. I mean, we've talked about it being in the boot camp. The basic training of what I got on Maui is in the boot camp. But of course, it's a different method of, getting that training across. It's still in there. It's you still get it when you become a pro. And the other thing about the Maui event was that the payment for Maui is not just for Maui. You get the Facebook group where there are less people in there. Now, when I put a question in that Facebook group of the SAN system, it gets answered by Jason, it gets answered by Charlie, it gets answered by Misha, it gets answered by, all these people that know how to answer your question to a point where you can implement it, because sometimes when people are teaching, they're not very good teachers, but these people are so knowledgeable about this system but they just get it across to you. And if they don't get it across the first time, you know, they're there to reiterate. Whereas, you know, if you've only paid $1 for the boot camp, well, you'll get the basics, you know, you'll get the basics of what you get, what we got on SAN. But you can't just have the basics. You need to master. You need to be mastering these things. And, you know, you've got to pay for it.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, the key here is that it does give you that shortcut. It's not, you know, you're not left figuring it out. You know, I mean, there is a great support network anyway, and you know, the boot camp clears up a whole lot, I can tell you. I mean, you know, if you're not in super affiliate, you should just get the $1, you know, and actually you know, just look at the boot camp, because I think if you've had anything to do with affiliate marketing and you've struggled in any way, this is going to clear it up for you 100%. Yeah. But the differences of having that high level, because you're literally over the shoulder, you know, you've literally got Misha telling you, okay, he'll look at your website, he'll look at your webinar, he will look at all your promotional stuff, your emails, you know, what you're sending out, how you're doing things. And he will give you constructive criticism. And that is actually so, so valuable, you know, because we can learn this stuff, but somewhere, you know, we can kind of mess it up in our own minds. We get, like you say, we get distracted. We don't have the focus. And actually, sorry, I didn't mean this to be a Maui sales pitch, but you do actually get the weekly calls with Misha or Jason. Every week we can actually talk to them live. And like you say, we get the one-on-one in the Maui group with them, that they will respond there more, you know, quickly than obviously in the main group. And also that everything you learn is not just a case of having to take notes. It's all there as extra boot camp training material. Well, it's not boot camp, but it's extra training material. It's there. It's already laid out.
Yeah, it's Maui training.
Yeah,
and you know, it's all the training to get you to that level where you just implement it. And for me, I mean, it takes me longer. I know it takes me longer than Misha. You know, he seems to be able to do things just like this, and I'm thinking, oh God, I wish I could do it that quick. But you know, you take your time. Everybody take their own time and just implement it. And you will implement it to a mastery of implementation, and that is what you need. You know, you can't stick on the basics, not in anything.
Yeah, absolutely. So, come on, Diane. You know, what was the one thing you came away with and you went, I'm implementing that straight away?
Well, it was my bridge page. I mean, I got back home and literally 5 minutes through the door, and I thought, right, you know, I've got to get this all in one. And within a couple of days, no, I think it was 3 or 4 days, I got that bridge page done, and it was out to a vendor.
Now, to people who have just tuned in and they're going, what the hell's a bridge page? Do you want to explain?
Now, a bridge page is absolutely crucial, because if you're an affiliate selling somebody else's produce, you know, people buy from people, and you need to be in the middle there, because you're going to be emailing this list of yours that you have paid for. And the bridge page introduces you. So you will have a capture, what we call a capture page. When you go onto the web and you're looking, you know, for something, and you're trying to find something, you're searching for something, and you see an offer, that is a capture page. It might be through what we call a lead magnet, or what's the 10 tips of, you know, how to get leads. And you've clicked on there and you land on a capture page. And then normally people will go straight to another page, a sales page, where you put in your credit cards, you know, to buy this stuff. But before then, you've put in your email address, and that email address has gone onto somebody's list, like me or like Karen, because we want to sell you other things that are similar to, you know, what you're looking for. But if you're going to be contacting that subscriber, they're not going to open those emails unless they know who you are. And that's why you have a bridge page between a capture page and a sales page, because a bridge page will tell everybody who you are.
Essentially, it sits where a thank you page would be. And in the bridge page, like you say, it's basically an introduction to probably you, maybe the Super Affiliate Network as well. And, you know, you can make it as long or as short as you like. I prefer punchier videos, you know, just sort of the minute video of who you are and an overview. But some people do a lot longer videos, and they work as well. Again, you know, it's all about testing what works. So you might want to try a longer video and a shorter video and see which ones are converting better. But
well, I did the short one before I went. You know, I did it myself because, you know, there is training in SAN where you can build it yourself. Actually, it just didn't work, frankly. And it's because even if it's shorter or if it's a longer bridge page, there are certain things that you have to get in there in terms of marketing. So long as you've got those things in there in terms of marketing, you know, where I was before, joining this system, and now what life is like now, you know, what's the benefits that people are going to get if they join this system. All these marketing things have to be in there, and it can be short or it can be long, as long as you've got them in there.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, the more you do have, then the more you are obviously asserting yourself as an authority.
Yeah.
And you want people to see that before they start getting your emails, so that they say, oh, this person knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Therefore, you know,
and I know who this person is because I've seen them on a video.
Absolutely. So there you go. That's a golden nugget. And you know, as much as we are given some incredible information at the boot camp, I think it's the level of understanding that you get that goes behind these. It's the psychology as much as anything that just makes that penny drop. And believe me, until that happens, you know, you kind of sit there, you kind of know why you're doing stuff, and you're a bit, and
and these things can look incredibly simple when they're sort of pointed out. And there was one where we members that were on the Maui, we kept using this all day, every day, because there was one psychological trigger that Misha talked to us about, and it was, by now you should understand. See the by now in there. By now you should have seen. By now you will see. By now I bet you love this. You know, and it's you are programming. You know, I mean, that's part of marketing. That's part of selling. You are preparing your prospect to buy now.
And the other one is getting people to nod along, isn't it? They're saying yes and agreeing with you throughout the webinar, so that when you say, you know, are you going to buy this now? They just go, yes. Oh, we're giving away all the secrets. But no, I mean, you know, this is half the thing. You actually get a much deeper understanding of what's going on with affiliate marketing. It goes a lot deeper.
You get an understanding of the marketing behind it, which you can use for anything, you know, not just for the SAN business, but for every other business that you've got. And you get, I've lost my trail of thought now. This is why I don't like going live, because you see, I've lost my trail of thought.
But this is why I love live, because it keeps it real. It keeps it real and raw, and that's what we're doing right here. So, you know, I obviously I've done it. Diane's done it. I think there are a couple of people on this call who have actually they are at Maui level. They might not have actually attended the course yet. David Starr. So hopefully you'll make the next one, because I think it's really going to help you. And I think one of the keys actually is that it boosts your confidence. Yeah. So much. And I think half the problem that we as people, human beings, have is It's a lack of confidence to do what's necessary. But when you've got a multiple seven-figure earner going, you can do this, and actually holding you accountable. You know,
I actually on that event did my first live where I did it off the cuff, and I didn't have to think about it except for, you know, the particular message that I was getting across, and I just did it. And I thought, oh my God, it works. You know?
You can just do it.
yeah, because I've got a lot of confidence, you know, seeing other people do them all the time. I mean, Keisha was right next to me doing them all the time, you know, these lives. Anyway, I'm going back to my email marketing. I love email marketing.
Okay, guys, if you've got any questions at all, do pop them into the comments. I can see the comments popping up here. I can see all the hearts. Christina, Stanislava, Jason's giving us thumbs up. David's giving us the ha-ha face. And Marcus says it's the mental game. And Marcus, do you know that is pretty much, wouldn't you say, 80% of everything we do, and going to these events. You've invested in yourself. That in itself is a huge mental motivator, if you like. You know,
because you've mastered. When you master something, it's like riding a bike. You know, you're all wobbly and you can't do it, but when you've mastered it, cycling is easy, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You know, that's the point.
No, absolutely. And Marcus says actually it's probably 90%. Yeah, 90% it is. And you know, going to the events, it just gives you that, like I say, it's the confidence. Also, then you know you've got backup because you can talk to those people whenever you need to. You're talking to people who are on the same level as you. You know, and as I say, when you make that level of commitment, it is a huge motivating because you're holding yourself accountable, actually. Once you've invested that much into yourself, you hold yourself accountable because now you have to get results. And that actually sets you in a very different place to the dollar trial, you know, because you've just paid $1. It's not really an investment in yourself, even though you're getting a top-notch education. You know, you're not really losing very much. But actually, when you pay that 12.5K, it's kind of like, right, well, firstly, I need to make that money back ASAP. Next, I need to show other people it can be done. You know, and it is just a case of taking action on what you've learned, but you've got it with more support, more motivation, I think. You've got that mindset that you're feeling more confident, certainly in yourself, and the fact that you've got that backup available to you as well. And Natalie Southgate's on the call, and Natalie, I know we haven't really spoken, but I just want to thank you for all the support you've given me recently. She's been wonderful. And she says, thanks, Diane. That's very encouraging. Comparing mastering with riding a bike. There you go. Who says you're not good at this live thing, Diane? And Marcus says it's skin in the game. Yeah, exactly. When you're laying down that amount of money, you know, because unless you are a millionaire, you don't take that amount of money lightly. You know, I mean, I didn't really have it when I invested. You know, not many people really have it to spare. It's not floating around. You know, usually it goes on a credit card or a loan. I'd actually just made my first 10K in commissions, and I just went, right, I'm going Maui. You know, so I didn't even get any money for the first 3 months because I just put it all straight back in, you know, before I took the money out. So, Ivan, Tiancho, sorry, Ivan, where can you start? I don't know if you know anybody on this call, Ivan, or who's in the Super Affiliate Network, but you can speak to them, or you can speak to myself and Diane. You can message after this. That's absolutely fine. And Natalie says, thanks, Karen. No, you're very, very welcome. So, you know, it's an investment in you. And, you know, as we know.
And when you think about it, actually, you know, you're investing in a business. And I have a bed and breakfast. I've had to put a hell of a lot more, excuse my French, of course, into this business, in the bricks and mortar, in the beds, in the staff, in, you know, the everyday things that I have to get for this, a lot more, and I don't get as big a return as when I will implement this business, because I'm not there yet. You know, I've got to implement all that I learnt on Maui. I haven't got there yet.
I haven't implemented everything I've learnt on Maui yet either, Diane, and that was over a year ago. But that is more down to me not taking probably enough action, you know, but I have more than made up for it without a doubt. I've certainly made my money back. I've, you know, and some without a doubt. I'm not saying that to brag, but it does actually, I think, put you on a different level, you know, because you're playing, you're in it. You are really in it, if you know what I mean. But anyway, like I say, it's not supposed to be a sales pitch for Maui, but it's just to really give you an understanding of why this is so important. And as Diane says, actually, when you compare it to bricks and mortar businesses, it's a complete drop in the ocean. You know, I used to, actually, when I was in London, I ran a chauffeur company. Yes, I was a chauffeur. I used to drive around in my little Mercedes. Well, it wasn't. It was a bloody big Mercedes, actually. And that car cost me probably twice as much as a Maui. And on top of that, I had to put fuel in it. I had to put tyres on it. I had to get it regularly serviced. I had to get it cleaned. You know, all the running costs you get. Then there was the insurance, you know, and anyway, it was a lot of money. I think actually there's no comparison, you know, so you have to get these things into perspective as well. Marcus says there's only so much you can resell to customers from the bed and breakfast. Yeah, you can upgrade them to hash browns or black pudding, maybe, Diane, on their breakfast.
They get that anyway as a benefit.
Fantastic. All right, guys. Well, is there any more you want to say, Diane? I don't want to wrap up if you've got anything else you haven't covered.
No, I think that, well, I suppose there is the community as well. I mean, Misha touched on this today with Sam, because it is an incredibly supportive community. I mean, you've experienced this, Karen, because, you know, you've had your family problems recently, and, you know, I would call it incredible love that's been given to you, you know, from that community. And it's something like 8,000 people in it now, you know, and, you know, even at the $1 stage, you can get help immediately. You'll have a six-figure coach, for God's sake, for $1.
I know.
I mean, you know, they talk about giving value. Where else do you get that, for God's sake? God, I don't know.
So there you have it. I think you need to go and have a gin and tonic or whatever.
I
know. Anyway, guys, I think what we'll do is we're going to wrap it up there. I think you get the message. So Thursday week now, we're moving the webinar. I think it's the 30th of November. I've got my calendar up here. I'll be able to tell you that's October. We're still on October. Yes, it is the 30th. We are going to be holding a webinar, and we're going to give you a little bit of a back office tour as well. You know, so you're going to really see what you're getting when you join the Super Affiliate Network. I'd encourage you to join that. If you don't want to wait till then, and this is completely new to you, it's the first time you're hearing about it, contact the person who's brought you along to this live or recommended it, or if you just happen to find us, then contact either me or Diane. You know, we'll be more than happy to help you out and point you to that $1 trial so you can start this journey yourself and actually see the incredible value you get for $1, because it is pretty incredible, actually. All right, guys. Dave Starr says, another great course. Thank you. Oh, thanks for coming, Dave. Raymond's giving hearts, and And yeah, thanks guys, Christina. Yeah, thank you guys so much for turning up. It makes it so much more fun when you're here with us, and we will see you.
And for staying with us, you know, I mean, we've been going nearly an hour, Karen.
I know, they usually do these ones. All right, guys, thanks again. And, you know, any questions, do drop them in onto this live, even if we've finished, even if it's not live anymore. We will be more than happy to come back and answer them for you. So, yeah.
And those of you in America, have a lovely...
happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I know it's, was it Thursday, isn't it, Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
So just have a wonderful, wonderful day. I think it's such a beautiful... I think we should have Thanksgiving. Well, every day should be Thanksgiving, let's be honest.
Well, we should celebrate everything.
Yeah, absolutely. But have a wonderful, wonderful day with your families, guys. And, you know, we will see you very, very soon. So take care. And, yeah, bye-bye.
Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Day, evening, morning, wherever. Bye.